Hey, what's going on, party people? This your man Griff. I just finished a quick house inspection. Got that done. I was going to try to video it, but there was somebody out here with a blower doing yard work, just constantly blowing, and it was just loud and was overshadowing the audio and everything. Couldn't hear me when I was trying to do it. And then there was a guy that had to let me in the house, and he just hovered every time I turned around. He was just there, like I go to do something, he's like just standing right there, hovering over me the whole time, and all of that. So I was like, I can't do it. So maybe this next one that I'm getting ready to go do, I can knock that out. I also want to hop on real quick just to make sure people understand. And this is a question that came up, doing the whole thing of me talking about it. I don't think anybody asked this. I can't remember. Nobody asked me this question, but a couple of people have hit me up and was asking me, well, why don't I just record the training that I'm doing and then just put it on YouTube so everybody can see it? And if you realize, if you look at my thing, that's what I've been doing. I've been recording videos and breaking it down and explaining. And even with the video, the document overview, over 23,000 hits on it, views, and people are still asking the same question that is covered in those videos. So, and then even when I did one on the acknowledgments and other stuff. So this is why I'm doing these videos, because for some people, they need to just ask questions. That's what I'm gathering. And I'm trying to find a way, because people are still asking questions about what to do if the venue is different from where they're at. And the venue is state of, county of. So if they're in Florida doing a closing and the state is, let's just say, Texas, and the state of Texas and the county of Houston, but they're in Florida when they're doing this closing, people are getting stuck on that, like, well, what do I do? I don't know what to do here. And I'm like, well, you should have learned that in your notary training, that you can line through initial and put the correct venue. Or if you have problems with that or issues with doing that, then just add an all-purpose acknowledgement. But that little thing there is throwing people off. And I've covered that. And other people have covered that. So not just me. Then you have the issue still with people not knowing what to put after the word by, B-Y, in the notarial acknowledgement area. They're still thinking they're supposed to put their name there. And I don't know if anybody in the other videos covered it. I never heard any, but I know I've covered it from that perspective of when it says sworn and subscribed before me on this date by, it's the people who did the swearing and the subscribing. If it says this instrument was acknowledged before me on this date by, it was acknowledged in front of you, before you, by the people who did the acknowledging. And a lot of people are missing that. So this training is going over to try to help people understand. Those are just two small things. And then some other things in detail. And then get people to ask questions to help them understand. But at the same time, you got to resist the temptation to do this other stuff that you have no grounds to doing. And that's really what's happening. You've been trained in a certain way. And unfortunately, a lot of the training that people have taken did not cover the notarial stuff, nor did people go and get any kind of notarial training. Or even if you did get notarial training, this other training that you've gotten is, and it's centered, and I know people get tired of me saying this, but it's still centered on this. I got to present the documents. I got to give an overview. I got to give a synopsis of the document, because NNA and other companies say, well, is it the notary's job? It's your job to do what? Give a summary of the documents. That would be nice, but the problem is some people are getting caught up in that, and they still don't know how to notarize. So again, I'm not saying you can summarize, you do what you want. The problem is you still don't know how to notarize. And if you don't know how to notarize, your summarization of the documents does you no good if you're sending the documents back not properly notarized. But everybody keeps going and focusing on that. And I'm telling y'all, y'all going to get caught up. And I know a lot of people comment in the section, no, I don't do that, I just do this. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of people out there who are still caught up in that because you feel that you need to do something on behalf of the title or the escrow or the for the loan, for the loan officer and all of them. I'm telling you, next time somebody call, ask them, do you want me, ask the loan officer, do you want me to give summaries or synopsis or explanations of the documents? Because that's really what you're doing. You're saying summary, but you're really trying to get into giving an explanation or helping people understand or answer the questions. And majority of the time, they're going to be like, nah, if there's a problem or something, call us. That's what they want. And that's what people's getting hung up on. So, and there's some other stuff that I'm teaching in there to help people really understand what to look for so that can guide them on what to do when they come across these different scenarios. So that's why I'm doing the training. And yes, I would love to put it out there and I could be very, very detailed. But at the end of the day, people are still like calling, texting, sending screenshots of the same thing that was just covered in the video. So I said, well, maybe this will help if I give people a chance in small groups to ask questions. And yes, I'm gonna make sure, and I'm telling y'all, if y'all just be patient, everybody's going to get a chance to get in there and ask questions, because that's really what people want to do. Let's be real. Y'all really want to just ask questions. And I'm fine with that, even if it is the same question over and over again. But here's the thing that you got to ask yourself. After you ask your question, whether you're asking me or anybody else, and after you get your answer, and especially if it's the correct answer, are you going to execute it? Because now, after about being on here for 4 months, it's about you executing what you're learning. Period. And if you're not able to execute what you're learning, or you think that there's something else, there's this other little secret, you're never going to get out there and do this thing. And that's what's holding people up. And I know y'all are getting tired of not being able to get out there and go forward. And we also covered stuff about the profile, make sure your profile is straight. So it's not just the loan docs, but it's pretty much, it's other stuff, but the main thing is the loan docs. But the bottom line is this: whether the training is free or you pay for it, at some point in time, you as the individual got to execute what you have learned. And if you're looking for stuff to be perfect, then you're never going to go out there and do it. Case in point. And I've told this story in the training last night. I get to the signing yesterday. I'm minding my own business. I get to the signing, and the couple's not home. The wife thought the husband was home, but the husband wasn't home. I go back and sit in the car, wait for them to come home, because she hit me up on the little doorbell thing. And when she gets home, he gets home. They basically get home at the same time. And next thing I know, she's like, I know he ain't. He better be. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you talking about me? She's like, nah, him. I was like, uh-oh. When a young lady says him, I was like, we got a problem. So I go back up to the thing, and next thing I know, them two are just going at it. And she's like, where you going? We got to sign these loan docs. He was like, I got an appointment. I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I got something else to do. And next thing I know, they was good. And I was like, oh my goodness. Now, one of the people who was in the training said, well, at that point, did I feel like I needed to leave? I was like, nah. They weren't scrapping. They were just arguing. They were just arguing back and forth. I was like, okay. And I could tell they wasn't going to scrap. But the thing was, I was like, okay, is this signing going to happen or not happen? That I don't know. So I said, let me just chill. So I waited to see if he was gonna hop in his vehicle and leave to his appointment. And next thing I know, she was like, "Come on inside, we're gonna do this." He's still out there looking like, "I ain't doing it." She's looking like, "We're doing it." I said, "Let me go in here to do this." So I went in there, and it was tense. So I had to do my sign and swap method. And the sign and swap is basically, I have a document, 2 documents. I give one to him, one to her. They look it over, they sign it, and then they swap with each other. And then they signed it, and then they give it back to me. And while they're doing that, I'm handing them two more documents. So they got the document, she signs it, swap, he signed it, she signed it. But right there in front of them, as soon as they give me back those 2 pages, there's another set of documents right there for them. So then they got it. So we were just boom, boom, boom. I think we got that sucker done, 213 pages done in like 15 minutes. Yeah, it had to be at least 15, at the most no more than 20. And what I did was I took all the notarial pages and I had to set them all to the side because, you know, he was like, "I'm out of here." So we got it done, and then I sat there and I notarized everything while she sat there and watched me and everything and got it all done. And I started actually before he left, but he booked and everything. So, and then I think she had to do something and she came back, and then there was somebody else kept walking in and out. So I just sat there the whole time for about another 15 minutes because it was at least 13, 14 notarizations I had to do. But you got to be able to handle that, and that's really where the heart of it is. So I need y'all to just get out there, and that had nothing to do with document presentation. You got to be able to just go. And if you're a person that wanted to present the documents and you see a situation like that, and you being more robotic about how you do these things, it's going to get you hemmed up because you're going to be so frazzled that you're not going to be able to know what to do. And while they was doing it, they was literally like sign and throwing the papers back and forth at each other. I mean, that's really what they was doing. They didn't look at each other. They was looking at me. I'm looking down. Take that, put that here. I wasn't looking at them. I can see they looking at me. And then they just flicking papers back and forth to each other. That's where you got to be. And if you understand what you're supposed to be doing as a notary, you won't let that phase you at all. There was nothing to say. He signed, she signed, I'm out, boom, and I made my money. That's the point that I'm trying to get y'all to, because, and that doesn't happen that often because, you know, that's life. That's life. And then once things were going, he went to his appointment. She was a lot more calmer and everything. And I just told her, I said, "Ma'am, you good." And she felt embarrassed and everything. He probably felt embarrassed. But what you don't do is sit there as a notary. Oh, whoo. Man, I thought y'all about to throw blows. You don't do that, that kind of stuff. You just get in there, stay focused on what you're doing, make no comments, make no gestures, make no suggestions, make no facial expressions, be ultra neutral, take nobody's side. If they say something, you just tell them, "No problem. Hey, look, I'm here to get this done. My main thing is to accommodate y'all. We got it done. Y'all handle y'all business." And as long as they weren't scrapping, I wasn't worried about it. And I already knew they wasn't going to scrap. I can tell that wasn't them, but there was just a miscommunication between the two. Those are the kind of things you got to deal with. And if you're focused on the wrong thing, you know, trying to get in there, and all of that and doing stuff, you'll miss a great opportunity to do something. So guess what? She's going to give me a good review. I know she is, because I did a great job and I accommodated them, even though it was a highly stressful situation. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to. So y'all have fun. I'm going to go on over here and knock out this other home inspection. Hopefully I can get to record that and post it. Don't know when this video going to post because I'm doing it from my phone, and it seems like it takes forever for this thing to post from my phone, but we'll see. Y'all have a good one. Peace.